Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to today's session plus. Students, as you know that due to the corona pandemic situations, Anik online classes try to help our students. And today, I your physics teacher, Sir Subrata Bhowmik. Welcome to my class 9 second series sessions of motion. Still now, we learn up to the topic of uniform and the non-uniform motions. Today we study the new topic, new concept regarding the concept of speed, right? I hope you go through it, the topic, the term, the name is speed. So, how do you know whether an object in motion is traveling faster or slower, right? Then another object. Look at the diagram here. I just draw here the two beautiful curves. Object 1, that is red curve, and the object 2, that is blue curve. Right? Consider two objects, object 1 and object 2, both moving along the same path. Both moving along the same path, right? Along the same path. Just by the looking about this diagram, can you tell me which one is moving faster? Can you please tell me which one is moving faster? Clearly, the picture shows that object 1, which is a red curve, is comparison to the object 2, that is a blue curve. Lagging behind object 2, that means speed of object 1, that is red curve speed, is greater than the speed of object 2. Clear? Now the question arises, what is speed? What is the concept of speed? Speed is that physical quantity which tells us whether, the basic idea, whether an object, how fast or slow something is moving, an object is moving. So, how do we define in this order to know what is the basic concept of speed? Let us consider an object is moving along a straight line. Consider an object is moving along a straight line. That is the concept of distance with respect to time. So how do you define the concept of speed? In order to know the speed in an object, two things basically required. Number 1, distance traveled by an object. Number 2, time taken to complete the distance. That means speed is equal to how much distance it covered in per second time. That is the basic concept of speed. Let us consider a diagram here. A red curve and another considered as a blue curve. Consider a curve is moving on a straight line, right? So, first of all, can you please tell me what type of motion exactly when an object traveling in a straight line? I hope you remember that kind of motions is called rectilinear motion. When an object travels in a straight line, right? So let us consider, suppose a car of red, another car is blue car. A red car cover a distance 420 meter with the considered time of 30 seconds. Another blue car, same distance cover with the respective time of 40 seconds, right? So now changing the two objects, first one and second one. As I learn, that object of the speed 1 greater than the speed of the object 2. So when an object is moving to reach its final destination, it has covered some few path. So speed means how much distance it cover over the time. Now, like if you want to look at this diagram here, there are 2 points, place A and another point is place B, and a car traveling a path and reach the point of B, right? So when a car travels a particular path, a particular distance, do you think here speed is constant? Do you think the speed is constant here? I don't think so. Why? May car speed initially first. After comes a certain distance, it may be slow down. Speed may be slow down, and after maybe some few momentum, it may be stop. Again, few moment of time, speed up. So that means out of these two values here, we find out for the car of red, car A, how much speed. The distance given here 420 meter, and time given for the red car is 30 seconds. That is 40 meter per second. And whatever the blue car, that is car number B, distance how much? 420 same meter upon by here time taken requires 40 seconds, approx 10.5 meters. So after calculating the concept of the speed, that is distance upon by time taken, you can easily find out the red car speed is faster than the blue car speed. That is red car A speed is 14 meter per second. How you find out? Distance upon by time taken. Distance here how much? Both cases distance should be same. That is 420 meter, and time taken for red car cover that distance in 30 seconds, whereas the car B, that is blue car, cover the distance with the time of 40 seconds. So here the red car A speed is more, that is 14 meter per second. And the question is it speed constant? Why it is not? If you consider 420 meter, and each and every intervals of time, maybe it is not the 14 meter per second. Maybe the car initially speed high, after the speed lows is like a average speed. It is not like a speed is a constant speed. It is like average speed. So whenever you find out average speed, that is total distance covered by total time taken. This is the basic concept of speed. And speed, as it has no particular direction, it has only magnitude. That's why speed always a scalar quantity. That means it has no direction. So what is speed? Speed means a basic idea, a physical quantity by which you can easily understand how a body, how an object travels, whether a fast or slowly moving like a straight path. That means rectilinear in motions. That means speed is equal to distance upon by time taken. What is the SI unit of speed? That is meter per second. Is it clear? Meter per second. So this is the basic concept of a speed. How a object first something is moving. So now what we learn, average speed means total distance upon by total time taken. Now if you look at here, when there is small intervals, small teeny intervals, like a very intervals of time of speed, when you measurement the distance, that speed is called instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed means with respect to time, how much small interval distance an object can cover a path. That is dx upon by dt. It's a derivative form you learn in the higher classes. So now here, what is instantaneous speed means? It's a very intervals of time of a speed of a particular distance. So now out of this all the concept, what is the concept of speed? Speed is a basic idea, is a physical quantity which tells us how much a path covered by an object in per second time. That is distance measurement with due to the respect of time. That is the basic concept of a speed. Right? Speed have two parts. One is uniform speed. What is the concept of uniform speed? Uniform speed means when an object travels in equal distance in equal intervals of time. That is the concept of uniform speed. Let us consider the speed of a light is a constant. Approach the value of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So we consider the speed of light as a uniform speed. Is it clear, everyone? Another term is non-uniform motion. So what is non-uniform motions? When an object travels unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Let us consider a car travel, say example 420 meter. First 1 second it covered the path of 5 meter. Another 1 second it covered the 10 meter. Next per second it covered around 20 meter. Continuously so on going on. So here if you observe that total path covered the point A to the point B, the total distance 420 meter, but the intervals should be same here per second time, but distance is not equal in every cases. Distance are unequal. First cases 5 meter, second cases it is 10 meter, third cases it is 20 meter. That means that concept is non-uniform motion. That means when an object can travels unequal distances in equal intervals of time, that is the concept of non-uniform motions. And the instrument which measurement the Indian is speed, that concept name is that instrument. I hope if you go through it, your any kind of vehicles, you go through that instrument which measurement the instantaneous speed of an object. The name is speedometer. that instrument decide how an object, how in vehicles travel fast or slow. That is the measurement concept of speedometer. And another instrument name is, that name is odometer. That name is odometer. Odometer means how much total distance covered, that is mileage. Say example, you can heard the same term words at mileage, the mileage of a bike, the mileage of a car. That means that instrument measure name is odometer. So this is a basic concept of a speed. So what is speed? Speed is how much total distance covered by per second time. That is the concept of speed. Speed always a scalar quantity. It has magnitude. It has no proper direction. That's why it's called scalar quantity. And after that we learn what is called average speed. As speed is not a constant, maybe some speed increases, after some simultaneously speed decreases, again increases. So speed is not a constant term. That's why it is called average speed, means total distance upon by total time taken. And what is the SI, International Standard Units of Speed? Meter per second. There are some of terms are there, like say kilometer per hour. So if you convert kilometer per hour to the meter per seconds, 1 kilometer means 1000 meter, hour means 3600 seconds. If you cut the value, answer will come 5 by 18 meter per second. That is a conversion of kilometer per hour to the meter per second. That means whenever you have to conversion kilometer per hour to the meter per second, you have to multiply the value of 5 upon by 18. So this is the basic concept of a speed. So speed means distance over the time and unit is meter per second. I hope everyone clear. So now we learn the topic of speed. Now let us come to the point. Another topic is velocity. Right? So what is speed? Just now we learn. Speed is equal to distance upon by time taken. Right? So now, how you to find out the distance? Distance is equal to speed with times of time. Then you will easily get the total distance, means speed, with the multiple of time. So if I tell you, I travel speed, say example 50 meter per second in 1 minute time, that is 60 seconds. So how much distance I covered? Speed given here how much? 50 meter per second. Time given here how much? 60 seconds. So here 3000 meter distance I covered. So now the question is, if I have covered total distance of 3000 meter, from this point of view, can you give any clue that am I here or here or maybe here or over there? Is it any direction mentioned? No, there is no direction mentioned. So the concept of velocity, I hope you learn the basic concept of distance and displacement. What is the concept of displacement? So, this tells us something more interesting. Speed means only it has a magnitude, no proper direction. It has only magnitude, no proper direction. That's why speed is called a scalar quantity. Look at the diagram here. Let us consider point A to the point of B. A person can cover the total distance A to B is 50 kilometer. Is it distance or displacement? It is distance. When I written like this, 20 kilometer towards north direction, that is the concept of displacement, where a direction mentioned. So displacement means a shortest distance from the initial position to the final position with particular direction. So whenever we learn the velocity concept, velocity means speed plus direction. That means velocity is equal to displacement upon time taken. Unit should be same, meter per second. So what is velocity? When an object travels a certain path with respect to time, a particular direction, that is the basic concept of a velocity. That means velocity is equal to displacement upon by time taken. So if there is no direction mentioned, it is not a velocity, it is a speed. When there is a direction mentioned towards which direction an object moving, an object is traveling, that is the concept of velocity. I hope everyone clear the concept of velocity? Clear everyone? Students, now look at the board please. Now what is the concept of this velocity? Displacement upon by time taken. So if I tell you I travel towards the north direction approx 15 kilometer. So here direction mentioned. So would you please tell me, when I mention 50 meter per second in 60 seconds in north direction, that means where I landed up at the position of north direction. That means here direction is mentioned. That is the basic concept of velocity. Look at the diagram here. If we come to the average velocity, first of all we learn the basic concept of displacement and the distance. In average speed, what we learn? Total distance by total time taken. If you consider this diagram, here total distance how much? 50. Time how much? Say example 2 hours given. Divided by 2 meter per second. That means 25 meter per second. Is it any direction mentioned? I don't think so. It's a direction mentioned. That is, it is a concept of speed. Now come to the point of average velocity. Look at the diagram here. If a person travel A point to the B points, and meanwhile on that time the road is not good, he had to cover the entire path like this way. So how much total his average speed? 50 by 2, that is 25 meter per second. If we find out the average velocity, it will come 20 by 2 meter per second, that is 10 meter per second towards which direction? North direction. That means here direction is mentioned. So what is average velocity? It is the ratio of the total displacement to the time taken. That is changing the total displacement upon the changing of time, that is del x by del t. That is the main concept of average velocity. That means the ratio of total displacement upon by total time taken, that is called average velocity when there is a proper direction mentioned. Right? Now this diagram, look at this diagram. If a car from the initial point traveling the total path covered in same directions again reach the final destination. So can you please tell me what is the total average velocity of that car? I hope you remember while discussing the concept of displacement, I mentioned displacement means initial point to the final point's total displacement should be 0. That's why here total displacement initial and the final point is same here. That's why 0 upon by time given here 1 hour 40 minutes. That means in reverse directions, or you can say in starting and the final destination point, if same, their average velocity always should be 0. So that is the basic concept of velocity and the speed. If you look this diagram also, let us example this is a football. If you hit the ball at the maximum height, due to the gravitation force, it's again returned back to the surface. So here total displacement also 0. That means in opposite direction displacement always 0 as well as velocity also 0. But as distance cannot be 0, like same way speed never be 0. And as distance there is no direction, it has only magnitude, no proper direction. That's why distance is a scalar quantity as well as speed also called as a scalar quantity. So today up to this much. So today what you learn? The concept of speed. What is speed? Speed is a physical quantity which tells us, which gives us a basic idea about total distance covered by an object with respect to time. That is the concept of speed. And what is velocity? Velocity means total displacement when there is a particular direction mentioned with respect of time. In same direction, speed and the velocity should be plus. In opposite direction, speed cannot be 0, but the velocity should be 0. So, after this much today class, I will continue my next session class with the chapter of motions. You please try to practice, try to learn the concept of speed and velocity from your NCERT books. And if any queries, the first day I told, you can frankly ask me any questions. I provide you my WhatsApp number. And please like, share and subscribe more and more our online channel, that is Bhowmik Educare online platforms. So always keep in touch with us and continue for your study. Thank you.